I'd like to introduce Dr. Frederick Jung, Principal Lecturer in the Department of Social Work and Social Administration at the University of Hong Kong, and Queenie Wong, Assistant Chief Executive for Children, Youth and Family Services with the Evangelical Lutheran Church Social Service in Hong Kong. And they're here with us today to talk about the Uncle Longleg Letterbox project. So Queenie, what is the project?
We start the Uncle Longleg's Letterbox project in 1994, so about 20 years times nearly. It is a letter counseling project. We go into school and community to encourage our students to write to Uncle Longleg. It's a figure, to write to their uncle about anything. Maybe some shared happiness or some conflicts, anything can do it. And then these children send in letters and we reply them.
And the Uncle Longlegs is a beloved storybook figure that children admire.
Yeah, it's a figure from a fiction about a gentleman, who concerned about an orphan called Judy. Yeah.
And so children in Hong Kong know about this story and admire and love this figure.
Yeah, because there's a cartoon broadcast in 1994. And we choose that figure because it gives the children a very warm and nice figure. Then they can write to them. We welcome children about a primary student, about age 10 or above. They write in letters. We train volunteers to learn how to reply letters to them. And we also, after we collect the letters, we know more about the perspective, the need of our children. So other than reply letters, we'll go into school to share with parents, teachers, and the community about how our children, they face the difficulties, challenges, what's their perspective or difficulties in their child development.
So once a child writes a letter to Uncle Longlegs, what happens to the letter? What happens next?
We have a central office, but very small. When we're in office, our staff will assign volunteers to try to reply to the letter, but we will monitor the quality. When the volunteers send a reply to us in handwritten form, then we will have a look to see whether the volunteers have replied properly according to our requirement. Then we will send out to the child. When that child writes again, we will send a letter to that designated volunteers again so that they can maintain a long-term guidance relationship.
Goes to the same volunteer.
Yeah.
But they make sure that they will not be contact each other. And letter is the only way they can communicate.
Because our office will hide back the contact address. So volunteers don't know the correspondence method for that child.
What would be an example of some of these letters that the children might write?
Okay, maybe I read some of the letter for the audience so that you can have a feel of how our children facing their problems. This is a letter from a boy of 10 years old. Dear Uncle Longleg, I'm very stressful as my parents have serious conflict currently. I was scared when my mother told me that she was seeking help from social worker and she was thinking to divorce with my fathers. I was very disturbed as I cannot stop thinking, what should I do if my parents really separate? What will happen to my family? Oh, Father Day is coming. I really would like to choose a present for him to make him happier. Oh, can you give me some advice? Okay, this is from another girl of 7 years old. Dear Uncle Longleg, my Chinese, English, mathematics were failed in most of my examinations. My parents and my elder sister were all angry with me and scolding me seriously. However, I have no motivations to do assignment and revisions. My mother doesn't like me. I don't like me too. So you can see very typical. Children, they have family problem, peer problem, academic problem, a lot of problems. So they would like to write to someone that they can trust to give them idea, advice, how they can face this, or emotional support. So this project is, we have 20 years already, and we have received more than 52,000 letters, and we have served more than 17,000 children.
Wow.
So we have a big team. We have more than 900 volunteers. Active volunteer, we still have 500 active volunteers. We receive letter, 200 to 300 letter every month. So I think this Uncle Long Leg is really welcomed by the children in Hong Kong.
And you could probably tell from the letters, because the child will write multiple letters, but you could probably see changes in the letters, so you can tell that there's been improvement.
Yeah. And we can see in different decades, different time, maybe our children will face different type of problem. And in different ages, because some, when they write to us, they were young child, now they already become an adult. Maybe now they've turned out to join our volunteer, become another Uncle Long Leg too.
Someone has become our staff, social worker. Yeah.
So I think this is a very long-term project and long-term relationship, and we can witness a lot of changes.
It sounds like a way to reach children who otherwise may not actually see a social worker or a counselor.
Yeah, I think other than the letter, we do a lot of training work, and we use the letter, and letter is a very powerful, have a personal sense. And we also do a lot of research, workshop, advocacy, teaching the teachers, telling the parents their problem. You read our children's letter, and you can see how they face their difficulty, how they expect their parent, teachers, peer problem, academic problem in the school, and their consequence. So I think we do a lot of this type of education, and we also need their support, because we go to the school and promote the project, and the teacher or parent, they will join our project, become our volunteers, and so there are a lot of dynamic exchange between the project, our experience, and teacher and school and parents and the communities.
And how do you train your volunteers?
Oh,
we have different levels. We have different levels of training for them. Basic training, we will teach them about how we view our children, how we perceive them, how we can help them. We will choose a person-centered base and narrative perspective. Yeah, how these two strategies can help us to see the problem and solutions. Then we have to train them to how to write replies. We'll give them sample lectures, and then they have to write the replies, and if it's okay, they can reply.
And I think a very core concept is we think that a significant relationship between an adult, a positive role model adult, and the child is very important. Whenever they have problem, they need support, they want to share, there is someone always beside them. So we want our volunteer to be client-centered, very supportive, understanding, and encouraging. It's already very good enough. And we think that children do need this type of support. Yeah. And so I think there's no need for very sophisticated training, or they need to have counseling, know a lot of what is narrative approach. But we try to give them a lot of sample to feel the child's psychology, feel their suffer, and try to be empathetic and let them know that you understand their suffer, and may give them some advice or support and give them hope, and let them know that there will be always someone behind you and give you support. As I think that's the human side is more than important than the technical one.
Well, thank you both for telling us about this very innovative project.
Thank you.